So first of all, can you just paint a picture for me of what your life was like before Vietnam?
Well, I just a teenager, and I quit school at 16, and I just kind of worked odd jobs and ran around, and then I kind of took it on myself to go from Duluth to Cloquet at age in between 16 and 17. So I lived by myself, and I had a girlfriend up there, and saw her, and father helped out with what he could, and then it got to be I got to be 18 years old, and I didn't have any direction at all. And I talked to a family member, and we got into a little heated discussion as to what I should do. And I told her, I said, well, maybe I should join the Marine Corps. And she said, well, your brother's in there, and I don't think you'd even match his footsteps. So I joined the Marine Corps just to prove her wrong. And I was in there for almost 4 years.
So tell me about the Marine Corps. What was that like for you, young man coming from Duluth, Cloquet? Where was basic training? What was it like?
Well, it was in San Diego, and when I got there, my whole wonderful world of color just blew up in my face. You didn't have anything, nothing. You didn't have no rights. You had to eat when they told you, quit when they told you. You had to get up when they told you, go to bed when they told you. You just didn't have any life. Your whole life revolved around 2 or 3 guys, and they controlled it from the time you went to bed till the time you got up, and then even when you're sleeping. So they'd come in there any time during the night and wake you up and stuff. And when I got out of there, then I understood why it was. If you couldn't handle that, you're not going to survive. So
what was your MOS?
I was an 0351, which is a anti-tank. I shot the, well, in World War II it was a bazooka. When we had it, it was a 3.5, which was bigger. And I could do, I could shoot a flamethrower, demolitions, and laws, and rifle and a pistol and all the good stuff.
So all the way through your basic training, and you get your MOS, and that's what you're doing. And then what happens? Did you get a little time off, or did you go right to Vietnam?
No, I went to ITR, which is Infantry Training Regiment, and there's about 380 guys in there. So they just basically teach you map reading and how to find yourself and everything if you're lost. So, and then from there I went home. No, I'm sorry. I went to BITS, which is my basic infantry training specialty, which was the rockets and the napalm and the demolition and everything else. After that, then I went home for about, I think about 21 days. I got married. And then I left about 14 days after that, and I went to staging, which is about a week and a half, and they try to teach you jungle warfare. I don't know anybody that can learn jungle warfare in a week and a half. It's got to be on-the-job training. So, and then from there, you went to your protocol and caught your plane, and we flew into Okinawa, and then from there we flew into, you got your people you're going with, then we flew into Da Nang.
Do you remember the moment stepping off the plane?
I do.
What was that like? What did it smell like?
It smelled like heat and death. It's just, the stench that stays with you forever. It just, I hope I never smell it again, but it's hot. They open their plane door, and it's just like a sauna hit you in the face, and like, what am I doing here? So, and then you went from there, you caught a truck and went to where you got to go to get assigned to where you're going to go to, and I went to Lima 35 in Central Highlands out in Anwa, so it was a good place.
So what was that like?
Well, it's hard to describe. It's just a city with 4 companies. It's a battalion. It's and there's about 750 to 800 people. That's your supply and everybody. Combat, you had about Oh, he should have about 640 for the 4 companies, but you're never at full strength, ever. So you're always short. I know when I got there, they had gone through, before I got there, had gone through a Mother's Day massacre. They lost about 40% of the people they had with them. Weren't okay, they're just wounded and stuff, but they had them pinned down pretty good for 36 hours. And they finally got them out of there. And so we stayed in Nanawa for about 3 or 4 weeks getting the new guys, me and more. So, and then then it's the learning experience starts when you go out in the bush.
So what is that learning experience like?
Well, you're scared to death. You don't know. The first thing you're afraid of is that step. The next one I take, is that going to be the end of it? You never know. And so you're walking on your tiptoes and just looking down all the time and trying to figure out and stuff. Then you see the guys that have been there for 7 months, they just tromping through it because they just, after a while, you just don't care. If it's your day, it's your day. It's just, So then you kind of get that going after about 60, 70 days, and you just kind of start doing what they do. And then when you get short, you go back to the short steps watching. So it's different. It's got to be it is nerve-wracking because you just don't know.
So can you give me is there an average day for you in Vietnam? Is there this was our routine, up here and
well,
out,
it's basically if you're on if you're out in the field, out in the bush, and you're on a certain hill and you stay there because you got to check out all the villages and areas and stuff. You're looking for Viet Cong and NBA and stuff. You send out patrols from different platoons every day, and you send out an ambush, on a trail that's been used, and hoping to catch them moving in on you or moving, or so. And that's pretty much it for the day, unless you get hit, and then everybody will. If somebody gets hit out there on the trail and they can't get back, well, then you go out there and you get them and stuff, and you usually get incoming, which is mortar rounds from the BC. So, and that's not fun because no matter where you go, you can't hide. Don't have any cover. You just have a foxhole, and if it goes in the foxhole, it's there's an old saying. Bend over and kiss it because it's gone. So, and it takes its toll, and I understand why so many people come back, all messed up. The suicide rate is high. So it's just and there is see, I thought I was normal when I came back. I thought going in the bar and getting a fight was normal. Yelling at people every day, normal. And it took me, my wife wanted me to go earlier to the vet center in Duluth, and I refused because I thought there was nothing wrong with me. Just normal. And I got down and I found out, and I've been going there now for over 17 years, every week.
What does that do for you? I mean, for those people who didn't have the experience that you and the other guys had, what do you guys have together that you don't have out there alone?
Well, we know what we've all been through, and we know that that we are normal, and that when we go to group, somebody says something about and we talk about our week that we haven't been there, and and my biggest thing is Walmart. I can't go to Walmart. I can't. It just I get so upset. I see somebody doing something that I know is not normal, I'll stop and tell them what I think. And it's and I get in trouble. So I go to group and I tell them what happened, and they give me suggestions as to what I should do the next time that happens, and think about it and walk away from it. But when you got post-traumatic, it's tough because you go from 0 to 60 right now, instantly. So. Like instance, if you get into a line and it's long, you're in the middle of it with a cart, and you got somebody up in front who knows that your credit card isn't going to go. They try buying $150 worth of groceries, and they're trying to get it to go through, and trying to get it to go through, and trying to get it. And pretty soon, you know, my daughter told me one day, she said, Dad, you're just dripping. My back of my shirt was just soaked, running down my legs. And she said, you need to get out of here. I said, I know. So I just left the cart right there and just backed up, and I gave her my credit card, and she paid for it, and I went and sat down on the bench, and it just, you know, I panicked. I had to get out of there. It just didn't go right. You don't feel any, you know, you're trapped. You can't go forward, you can't go backwards. You're surrounded, and then you get that fight or flight feeling. So, yeah. So you can't do the first one. So you got to get out. So, and that's what I do. So.
Absolutely.
So.
So if you had an average day in Vietnam, do you also have like a luckiest day? Like where you cheated death? I understand you were wounded not once, but twice.
No, just once.
Just once.
Just once. One for the heart. But we were on patrol, and like I said, I was in rockets for about 7 months, and I got tired of carrying the 3.5 because it was heavy. So I went to a squad leader and asked him, well, could I join your squad? I don't want to carry that anymore. He said, I'd be glad to have you. So then I was a grunt again. And we were on patrol, and my friend Dog was on point. I was behind him, and we had to go in. I headed back to our hill, and we came to a fork in what do you call it? And he said, which one do I take? You know, and being there for 8 months, I said, it doesn't matter. They're both booby-trapped. Just pick one. So he did. And they were. You know, he walked away from it. I was walking towards it. He got up and down his legs. And I got it in my left inner thigh. I mean, inner thigh is close. I got it, I had my jugular vein severed in half. I had a collapsed lung, which was, well, medical terms, pneumothorax. And that was pretty much it. But they thought I had a back injury because I couldn't lay flat. That was because of collapsed lungs. So, yeah. When the corpsman came running up, I didn't know I was hit until somebody told me, rockets, you're shooting blood out your neck. So then I reached up. I said, where is it? And he said, it looks like you got your jugular vein. Well, I just thought, well, here we go, 6 seconds, what it is. And, you know, it just got peaceful. Just, you know, I thought I was going to die. You know, I was sure I was going to die, so I just, you know, laid down and, yeah. But they came over and got me fixed and got me on a chopper and got to Da Nang. And when they, you know, it's triage, and they don't have St. Mary's Hospital. They just do what they do, and they put a chest tube in my right ribs without any anesthesia. So they had to get the, you know, doctor told me, I was screaming, and he said, you know, shut up and take it. So I did. And they got me in the operating room, and they worked on me, and woke up a day later, and I was fine. I mean, I wasn't fine, but I was alive.
How
I couldn't believe it.
Survive that?
I don't know.
You must have a lot to do.
Yeah. Either that, the good Lord wasn't done with me yet.
So then, what after that? Where did you?
Well, I was in Da Nang for about, well, China Beach for about 5 days. I think it was, woke up on Tuesday and I was out on Friday. And I asked him where my friend was, and the nurse told me he's gone. Well, I took it as he had passed. So I didn't look for him. And so anyway, after that I went to Yokosuka. I went from Yokosuka, or I went to Iwakuni first, then I went to Yokosuka, and I was there until sometime in late April. And then I came back to Chicago, Naval Hospital there, and stopped, and they, you know, finished up my care at sometime in June. And then I went out to California to be an MP. I was there for about 1.5 years doing that, and then I went to Camp Lejeune to go there, and I was there for about a year or so, and then I got out.
So what was it like coming back to the States? Did you see the protesters? What did you
I
make?
did. When I was on the bus for Chicago, when I was getting, because I was the last one on, so I was the first one off. And there's a lady standing in the hallway of the Chicago Naval Hospital, and she just said, how come you're alive? My son's not. I just looked there and said, thank you. And they just pushed me in. So, yeah, I got, I've got to spit on, yelled at, called names, the normal stuff they call you. And I had one instance where my wife and I and a friend of ours, I dated a colonel's daughter, and when she found out I was a Vietnam vet, she swore at me, called me names and stuff in my car yet. Well, he told her to get out and made her walk home. I picked her up. I didn't want her to walk home. So she has her opinion, and I have mine, and she's entitled to it. So, but for 30 years you don't tell anybody anything.
That's
Because
what I
you're
was gonna
ashamed.
ask.
You're ashamed of it. People made you ashamed of it. And I grant you, I volunteered. I mean, I joined. I wasn't drafted, but point is, I was going to go one way or another. So I just thought I'd pick my time and place.
But you were wounded in the service of your country, us.
Yeah.
You know?
I'd like more than anything. You can give me all the medals there are, but what I would like is somebody that called us names. Come up and tell me why, and apologize. Just tell me you're sorry. That's all I need, and I can put all the rest. But I was very angry at people. So.
I didn't go through it, and I'm angry for you.
It's just,
I-
But after the war, I came back and went to work at the paper mill where I met a few of my friends you've interviewed. Worked there for 18 years, and I, got hurt again. I got crushed by a paper roll, so that career ended. Not fast, but took about 10 years, and it finally ended. And then I went on other jobs and stuff, and until I finally retired.
What do you hope? Is there something you hope we learned, or is there something you hope is there a lesson learned from all of that?
I just hope someday that the people in this country, whether they like the war or not, if we have another war, and I don't know if we will or not, but whether it's justified, that the people get drafted and go in there, the young men and women, whatever it is, and they come back, congratulate them, thank them for their service. Support them, every day. Tap them on the back, say good work, good job, I'm glad you're alive, I'm glad you're home, I'm sorry your friends aren't, I get more thank yous from young kids, 18, 19, 20 years old, and they go out of their way, because I wear my hat or I wear a jacket or a shirt or something, and they come up and they shake my hand and says, I just want to thank you for what you've done for us. And I tell them you're welcome, and just go on, and that really lifts your spirits. It doesn't make the whole thing worthwhile, but it does change your attitude towards the younger people in this generation. So, and I get a lot of Iraqi vets come up and thank the Vietnam vets for everything we've done to make their job coming home easier for them. So I hope, and this country finally did turn around and recognize that we just did a job that we were told to do, and that's it. That's all I don't know.
That's wonderful, wonderfully said. Is there, you said that you took it to mean that your friend Dog was dead and had passed.
Yes, and I thought that that was 1970. I was wounded on February 13th, Friday. Both of us were. And back here was my wife's birthday, February 12th. So anyway, that's not here or there. I took it as a passing, that he didn't make it, and I felt bad about it. In 1996, I was really having trouble. I was having a lot of anger issues. I was, I would drink until I just couldn't walk. To try to drown what was wrong with me, and I didn't know what it was at that point. And my wife told me, you need to go to a reunion, because, and I kept getting these letters from Lima 3-5 and stuff, So I did go to Washington, D.C. one year, and I was there, and I got in there, and I looked, and I didn't see anybody I knew, and I called my wife up and said, I tell you what, I'm coming home. Why? I said, because I don't know anybody here. I see people from Lima 3-5, but I don't know anybody that I knew. She said, well, just take it off for one night. So I did, and I got on Friday, and usually on Saturday morning they have a morning meeting, so I went to that, and you have to introduce yourself, and who you are, what your nickname was, when you were there, and where you live now and stuff. And I doing that and stuff, and this kid was sitting over about, a man sitting over about 3-4 tables away, and he kept staring at me. And I'm thinking, I didn't recognize him. Like I said, I lost my memory as far as faces and names go. And kept looking, thinking, geez, there must be something wrong with the way I'm dressed, because he just keeps staring at me, I thought maybe something was open, So after the meeting, he comes up to me, and he walks up to me and says, Laurie. He's from New Jersey. The accent. He doesn't say Larry, he says Laurie. I said, yes. Strum. I said, yes. He says, your nickname is Rockets? I said, yes. He said, I'm Dog. No, he said, I'm Les. Les who? He said, I'm Dog. I said, Dog. I don't know you by your name. I didn't know your name. Didn't care. His name was Dog. So, yeah. So I met him and his wife, and I stayed for the whole thing, and we got around. Now every February 13th we call each other. So and everybody has their anniversary days where they get depressed and stuff, but yeah, I look forward to the phone call, even though it's not a good day, and it makes me keep from getting depressed and angry about stuff. So yeah, we talk every February 12th or 13th, like clockwork. So yeah,
that's awesome. I'm so glad he lived.
Yeah, me too.
Oh.
Me too.
So, and was he really badly injured, though?
Well, what he wanted to do was he wanted to find me and apologize for getting me hurt. So I said, Doc, no problems. You didn't quite get the job done, so I'm okay. So, yeah.
Is there anything else you want to add? You want to say that you feel is important that I didn't give you a chance to?
No, that's pretty much it. It's life's going better today. It's yeah. No, I'm fine. It's I have a lot of Vietnam vet friends that I hang around with and stuff, and everybody's we're all good. I'm good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for getting healthy again, and thank you. This was an awesome interview.
I know I've had a lot of friends that I went to group with first in 2000, and they see me in 2017, and they say, I can't believe you're the same man. Was in there because I had black humor, and I was angry and mad all the time, and voice was about 120 decibels, So they say, yeah. In fact, yesterday, one of my friends said, I hadn't seen him for a while, and he said, I just can't believe how calm you are from just 8-9 weeks ago. So, yeah. Believe me, if a veteran has a problem, they need to call the vet center in Duluth, and they'll get them the help they need, because it wasn't for them, I don't know if I'd be here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.